Hello, everyone. Hello. Welcome to the first preview show of the Dr. Carolyn Anderson Show. How you guys doing? I am so excited. Thank you for joining me this evening, for taking time out of your busy day to make history with us. Today's a day that's going to go down in history, and you get to be a part of it. You know, recently I was watching the Oprah Winfrey Show, the last show she did after 25 years. And when she looked back at some of her shows, she was like, oh my God, I can't believe that's truly me. So we will look back at this 20 years from now and say, oh my God, it was on this day, 7/17/17, that the Dr. Carolyn Show went live around the globe. So thank you for joining me. You are in for an awesome treat. Your lives will never be the same. You want to stay with us till the end of the show because there are some surprises, there are some giveaways, some freebies, and I know you want to be one to earn one of those. So I'm just really excited. Thank you for your support, your love, your kindness. You have been amazing. We recently just opened up the Dr. Carolyn Show on 7/1 when I was in Dallas. We had the opening, and you know, since then I created a new Facebook page, and it has been just growing tremendously. That shows that you are ready for a change. It shows that you are ready for the fresh voice, for something new, and the time is now. So we have a great lineup for you today. So what I want you to do right now is share out this video to your friends, your family. Make sure your Facebook is on public view and not private or friends only, because if it is, then people who are not your friends will not be able to share it. So I want you to put your Facebook on public, and then you go and you hit the share tab, blast it out, do the hashtag Dr. Carolyn Show, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, all the social media that's out there, because we need you to be talking today. We need your feed. We need you to say what's up to us. We need you to be talking back. The stories you are going to hear today is guaranteed to transform and to change your life. So right now, I'm just going to take 30 seconds and just do a roll call. Type in what city or state you're from. If you're out of the country, let me know what country you are. I already know that Brazil is online. I know that Jamaica is online. I know that Sweden is online. So I'm really excited. You know, I don't speak Spanish, so if you're looking for the translation, Google can do that for you. So I'm excited. I'm really thrilled, really happy. And today's a magnificent day. So go ahead and do the roll call. Let me see the feed coming in. I'm going to be checking in with you guys, making sure you're communicating, talking. All of the guest fans are joining us live as well. So come on, let today be a great day. Let us take over the internet. Let people be like, what's the buzz? Who is this gal? Who are these folks? And let us take it over today. No crime. It's all about transformation. All right, so I want to welcome all of our guests that will be joining us today. And again, you can always share this out throughout the broadcast. You don't have to wait for me to tell you. I do appreciate your comments, and I do appreciate your likes. So thank you very much. So coming to you live from Chi-Town, and we have our first guest that's coming up today, and she is the infamous, the awesomeness, the cause, the sister, the wonderful gal. She is none other than Joan T. Randall. She hails all the way from North Carolina, where it's storming, by the way. So if Joan happens to go in or out, just know that there is a storm there. But today's topic, we are talking about from trials to triumph. And you know, storms of life will come and they will go. However, I want you to know that each guest today, they will share their story. But what I want you to understand more than anything else is that no matter what you are going through, you can overcome. So welcome, Joan.
Hi, I am so excited to be here.
Awesome.
I am so proud of you for your first show. Yeah, and I'm honored.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is exciting. So Joan is a life coach. She's a #1 best-selling author. She's an entrepreneur. She's also a business coach, and she's in the process of writing her 3rd book. And Joan is just a magnificent woman. She's a keynote speaker as well. She travels all around the globe and she speaks and she helps to transform other people's lives. So Joan, tell me, how does it feel to be a life coach, to be a entrepreneur, to be full-time doing your own thing, to be a keynote speaker? How is life treating you these days, Joan?
It feels fantastic. The fact that I get to do what I love and to be able to change people's lives mean the world to me. I'm walking in my purpose.
Oh man, it's nothing like truly walking in your purpose, right? I mean, life is just awesome when you truly know who you are, right? And so tell me, what does it do? What is a life coach? Because some people may not understand what a life coach is. So just explain what's a life coach.
Well, for me, it's personal development. And personal development, when you look at all the areas of your life. So whether it's finances, whether it's love, whether it's health and wellness, whether it's relationships, spirituality, that's life. And you have that. That's your trademark. So what I do is just help people move from stuck to success.
Right. Is that life has not always been that great, right? It has not always been that glamorous. You have not gotten to the place of triumphing just on your own. So share your story with us. Give the viewing audience a little bit more about Joan and where Joan came from.
Absolutely. Well, prior to me owning my own business, I worked for corporate America for 25 years. And for 15 out of those 25 years, I was in a regional director. And then for the last 4 years, I was a vice president. I started at this company as a part-time associate and worked my way up to the vice presidential level. So that for me was just an incredible journey and opportunity. And I was exciting about that. But there has been some bumps in the road. And even prior to me getting there, I experienced domestic violence in my life. So I was a battered woman, a woman that was broken, a woman that was victimized, a woman that was beaten. And when you talk about domestic violence, for me, it run the gamut. So it was physical abuse, it was verbal abuse, it was sexual abuse, it was psychological abuse. So it was abuse just all across the board.
Wow. Wow. And so, Joan, you had migrated from the beautiful island of Jamaica, right?
Absolutely.
And yeah, you're in a foreign land, in a strange country, and you have 2 young girls with you, right?
Yes.
And you were married at the time, and there came a point in your life where you hit rock bottom. You know, sometimes you come to a point in your life where it halts, right? It's like at a standstill. You feel no more. And I know you had that experience. So when was that breaking point for you, that moment where you said, this is it?
Well, that's a very good question. I got to a point during the years of abuse. The physical abuse, you'll get a scar, but then the scar heals. The emotional abuse, the psychological abuse, it stays with you forever. When you're being called stupid every day, or or being told that you're fat, or being told that you're not worthy, or being told that nobody else is going to want you, that stays with you, that sticks with you.
Yes.
And I had 2 girls, so I lost myself. I lost who I was. I no longer felt Joan. I don't know where Joan went.
Right.
And so I got to a point where I did not want to live anymore. And so I rationalized not living by saying to myself, I'm just going to go to sleep.
Right.
I'm just going to go to sleep. But I don't want to go to sleep and leave my 2 daughters, to be in this situation for the rest of their lives. So I'm going to let them go to sleep with me.
Right.
And what I thought about was taking our lives.
Yeah.
And when you are to a point where taking your life and the life of your children gives you comfort, you know that you're a broken woman.
Yes, absolutely. And so you had gotten to a point, Joan, where it was better for you to not actually be alive.
Right.
It had gotten so bad that not being alive was better for you than actually living, because again, like you said, it was not necessarily the physicality of it, because you actually were beaten sometimes and went to work, right? So you were a functional abusee.
Yes.
I mean, a lot of women do that, and men. They cover it up with the makeup and the glamour, and people will say, oh, your eyes are, kind of black today. And you will say, oh yeah, I didn't have enough rest, right? I'm sure there were some functioning days.
Yes.
But what intrigued me about your story is that you decided that you were going to take their lives. So walk us through the 7 days leading up to that particular day when you said, this is the day that I'm going to take my life and the lives of my children.
Right. So there was comfort. There was comfort in thinking that we will no longer be here.
Right.
And there was a comfort in me knowing that my girls are going to be with me.
Wow.
And I have to be honest with you, Dr. Carolyn, I practice what I would do. I did a pre-run. So I knew I was gonna use my gun.
Right.
I knew that I was gonna take my oldest daughter's life,
wow,
my youngest daughter's life, and then my life. So
wow,
what I did was, about 7 days prior, I went into my daughter's bedroom in the late night, and I looked at her sleeping and just said to myself, well, if I shoot her in the head, she's not going to feel it because she's sleeping.
right,
And then I went to my baby's room and I did the same thing. I said it would be easy, just point the gun right at her head, pull the trigger, and it would be done. And then it would take my life in the youngest one's bedroom.
right.
So I did a practice run.
Wow.
I did a practice run. So again, looking back now, hindsight, I was not myself.
Right.
I was not myself. And I was so controlled that I didn't want to exist anymore. And nobody is there to help. I'm crying out for help.
Right.
Nobody's there to help. So I just felt like I was alone, and this was the solution.
Wow. So you actually rehearsed your death.
I did.
And when I was talking with you earlier this week, I was saying to you, that's a book right there. That's a movie, rehearsing my death. Because a lot of people, everything exists first with a thought. Yeah. And so you think about it, and it exists there because life exists in the mind, right? Yes. And so even now we know that there is a lot of challenges with mental illness, but depression, abuse, that's a form of mental illness. I have no stigma against it because it's taking place in here. I'm sure you heard the voices that were saying to you, Joan, do this. This is the best thing you need to do. And then you had the physical person in your life that was saying to you, you're nothing, you're no good. So you figure the voice is telling me to do this, and the person in my life is saying to do this. So you had a confirmation that this was the right thing to do, right? So walk us through, Joan, that day. What happened? Why you are here today?
So I planned it for this day in particular, and it was going to be in the early hours of the morning because I know that my daughters would be asleep at that time.
Right.
And so I had it all figured out. I cried all night that night. I remembered I couldn't sleep. But there was somehow there was this peace inside of me because I know we would no longer have to experience that kind of abuse, just all across the board. Wow. And so that morning I woke up and it was wee hours of the morning. So there was a little bit of light coming through my bedroom window. My daughters don't get up until the sun is up. And so I went to the closet, I got the gun. And on my way out of the closet, my bedroom door opened and I heard a voice said, Mommy. And this was my 4-year-old.
Right.
So I froze because I'm like, oh my God, she just messed up my plan. My plan is now messed up. What do? I will not be able to shoot her while she's awake. So I walked into the bedroom and she was standing and I could see the dawn, the light coming through my bedroom window. And so I sat on the floor. I put the gun behind my back. I sat on the floor and I put the gun under me. So I was sitting on the gun. I folded my legs. And because she was only 4 years old, she walked up to me and she touched my face. And she felt that my face was wet.
Yeah.
And so she started looking in my eyes. So there was only the light from the dawn. And so she put her face all the way up to my face and started looking in my eyes. And she said, Mommy, are you sad? And I said, yes, Mommy is sad. And with the most amazing, incredible voice of a 4-year-old, she said to me, Mommy, I can give you strength. And I said, how are you going to do that? And she walked all the way up to me. My legs are crossed. and she put both of her arms around my neck. And this baby squeezed with all of her might. And something in that moment transported my baby into my body. And I just started weeping. So here she is at 4 years old. I put my arms around her. I am bawling. My head is on her shoulder, and on her hand that's at my back started patting my back. And she said, "It's okay, mommy. It's okay. I give you strength."
All right. Tissue, please. Okay. So I can see the other guest, and it's just like the story stops you in your tracks. I have goosebumps, and I've heard somewhat of it again, but this is real life. You rehearsed it. You practiced it for 7 days. You walked back and forth. There was nothing that was going to stop you. But how awesome would it be that a light would appear, and the same child who was going to be the second child at life that you took, correct?
Yes.
Ended up being the one to come in there. Now, I don't believe, I don't know what you viewers may believe, and I don't know what your perspective on life, but that was divine. That was not, so while Joan was rehearsing her death, there was a divine being rehearsing how they would stop that death. And so Joan is here today because that little girl, that sweet daughter who she gave birth to, ended up giving birth back to her mom. And that's just how life works. And then you have an older daughter who also, she's the one that after you, because as I continue on the story, you ended up leaving and pack your bags, right?
Yes, I ran away. I ended up running away. And this whole time while I was being abused, what I didn't know that was my older daughter was taking clothes for her and her sister, climbing in the attic and putting them in black trash bags, was just waiting for me to say, I'm getting ready to go. And the day that I decided to run away, I said to my oldest daughter, I am afraid. And she said, no, mommy, I have been helping you. And I said, what do you mean? She pulled me to her bedroom, pulled the stairs from the attic, climbed in the attic. There was 6 black trash bags filled with toys and clothes for her and her sister. Then she ran down to the kitchen, took 4 more black trash bags, went into my bedroom, packed my stuff. We left that night out of that house in pajamas with 10 black trash bags.
Wow, that is significant. And 10 is a number of breakthrough. I can see the tears flowing from the guests. I know, audience, you are just bawling because, I mean, what do you say from this? Joan, when you have that movie, I want to play you. I need some money from this. Oh my God, this has got to be a movie. And you guys heard it first on the Dr. Carolyn Show. So if you're watching us right now, I need you to be commenting about this. This is completely an eye jerker. This is completely a life-changing story. So this shows you that no matter where you are in life, you may be rock bottom, literally about to think to take your own life. And you just hear from someone now that she has her children helped her. You may not have kids, but someone will help you. Maybe the show, her testimony, and maybe the other guests that will be on the show in a few minutes will be able to inspire you to transform and to change your life and to run. Sometimes you just gotta run. I was telling Joan that when I was in the military, you know, and I came back, I was also in an abusive situation, and I took off running because I ran track and field in high school. So I had my feet. So the only thing you can do is run, because, you know, sometimes you can't tell your coworkers, you can't tell your managers, you can't tell your friends, you definitely can't tell the family members of the abusee, because they're not going to believe you. So just run. You know why? Because your race is not over. There is someone and there is a purpose that is in you. You need to touch people's lives. Look at Joan today, sharing her story. 7/17/17 on the Dr. Carolyn Show, sharing her story. She also has a book that she has written. It's 90 Days to the Victorious You, right? It talks about from her being a victim. There is a book. So it talks 90 Days to a Victorious You. It talks about Joan going from being a victim to being victorious. In fact, she has that trademark, and the Victorious You, she's been running with that platform because there is victory after the storm. And so, Joan, you are amazing. You can find this at joantrandall.com. Is that your website, Joan? Yes. And you can buy it there. It's also on Amazon. It's 90 Days to a Better You. Just think about it. If you apply it today, before the fall comes around, your life can be transformed and can be changed. So you want to grab this book and get it. Her birthday is also coming up. And so you want to be a part and be a blessing to what she's doing. That story changed my life when I heard it, because who rehearsed their death? You know, a lot of people think about it, but not necessarily rehearse it. But if you rehearse other things and you have visions for life, why not have it for death as well, right? Because to her, that was living. Yes. Taking your life was living to you, and it was living for your children. So thank you very much, Joan, for sharing, and we'll be back with you. So stay on. So for those of you that are still online and you're tweeting out, I want to thank you so much. If you're sharing out this video, thank you very much. You are in for a treat. This is an awesome show. Awesome producer, my guy, Mr. Rob Hix. He's just amazing. I could not do this without him, and I could not do this without you. So we need a viewing audience. You guys totally rock. You guys are amazing. And if you're thinking about you want to do something with your life, you want to step into your purpose, you can do that because you heard that Joan did it. She's here today. She has clients. She has coachees. She steps on the platform. And if she did not live, if she wasn't alive today, she would not be able to do all those things. And so you are needed. There is someone that's waiting on you. And if you don't live, they will die. So we need you. We need you to be sharing this out. We need the story to go out. And we are just so excited that you have joined us today. All right. Switching gears here. So my next guest hails all the way from, I will say, Hawaii. He has lived in Hawaii. Presently, he is in San Diego, California. His name is Mr. Patrick Snow, and he is a coach. He is an author. He's a book coach. He's a keynote speaker. He's an empowerment speaker, motivational speaker. He takes the platforms. He helps you with your book if you need your book to get out there. He is a #1 bestseller on the New York bestseller. He's also Amazon bestseller as well. So is myself and Joan. Hello. Okay. And Patrick is an amazing, wonderful man. He is just awesome. And so welcome, Patrick, to the show. Thank you for joining us all the way from California. Knows how to party. Do you know that song?
Thank you, Dr. Carolyn. I'm thrilled to be on your show.
Awesome, Patrick. Glad to have you. So how you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic. I'm thrilled to be here with so many amazing guests. And thank you for your wonderful leadership in putting this together.
Yes. You are amazing, Patrick. I just love you so much. You've helped me so much in what I'm doing here. And I just want to thank you very much. And so, Patrick, you tell us about your many successes. You are on fire, man. Let me hear it.
I have a goal to help 10,000 people write and publish their book. And we've gotten about 1,200 people published over the last 20 years. So we have a long ways to go, about 8,800 more. But I believe that everybody has a message, just like our previous guest has. And the goal is to literally help people put works of art or books into the marketplace that are uplifting, harmonious, joyful, peace, love, and inspirational. And that's really what I want to do, is help create a better world for people by publishing these type of books.
Awesome. And yes, you are an amazing publisher or book published coach, I should say, because you don't necessarily publish them, right? But you help them to formulate and get those words out to out into the masses. And Patrick, you're also a keynote speaker. You've graced the stage of hundreds of thousands. You are humble enough to also step on the stage of 10 people, if it's 20, 30, but you are a keynote speaker. So tell me, how does that feel when you're on the stage and you're talking and people are laughing and they're cracking up? How does that make you feel, Patrick?
Well, I get a little adrenaline rush, and I tell you, it's easier to speak to 1,000 people than it is to speak to 10 people.
Yes.
So the bigger the audience, the more passion and the more inspiration that happens. But I love speaking.
Right.
Growing up, I was the fourth of 5 children in my family, and I never really got a chance to talk at dinner time. So as an adult, I try to talk every bit that I can. And so that's kind of gone over as a result of being an adult now.
Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah, you had to be quiet. So now you was like, I'm grown, man. I'm going to take advantage of this, right?
There we go.
Awesome. Awesome. And Patrick, you also do some business coaching, and you help entrepreneurs help to get their business started and to thrive and to thrush. And so just tell us a little bit about how that makes you feel, and what is that life like to be a business coach?
Well, I firmly believe that as an entrepreneurship advocate, I believe that the world's greatest marketing secret in the history of all business is to write and publish a book, and then use that book as a platform from which you stand on to launch a speaking, coaching, and consulting career. So a lot of people get into business today and they throw away tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars on marketing and advertising campaigns that are not very lucrative or successful. And I believe a better way is to write and publish a book. Use that book as your lead generating tool, your attraction model, your physical website, or your thick business card. And as a result of doing that, a lot of these entrepreneurs are having more success with the book than without it.
Absolutely. I am a living testament of that you write that book. I wrote a book that became #1 bestseller in December 12/12, and I'm just been really excited about it. Yesterday, I sold over 30 copies after I spoke at a church yesterday. So it's always a good tool to bring with you. It shows you credibility. And so, Patrick, you have many successes. In fact, when I spoke to you a few months back, you were like, yeah, I'm building my house in Hawaii and I'm just hanging out in San Diego. I'm like, what? You're rolling like that, Patrick. You know, it's just a casual conversation. I'm just building my house in Hawaii and I'm just hanging out in San Diego until it's finished. You know, that is awesome, man. I'm going to be like you, dude. We're going to be building houses I'm going to build mine in Jamaica, though. We're going to be building on the top of the mountain in Jamaica, hanging out where Bob Marley used to be, get all his weed. No, I'm just kidding. I got to put a joke in there. So, you know, hanging out with, you know, the Jamaicans and rolling and just living that awesome life. And so, Patrick, you are thriving now. You are triumphant. You are living the life you've always wanted to live. You understand your purpose. You live life with meaning. You make your own schedule. You choose your own path. You get to say no to who you don't want to coach. You get to turn down things and gigs. You get to manage your own schedule. But there was a specific moment in your life, Patrick, where you hit rock bottom, and you were doing well, and then there came something in your life that hit rock bottom. Let's talk to the guests. Let's talk to the viewers and let them know what moment that was for you, Patrick.
Well, I think there's been three pretty major challenges that I've had in my adult life that weren't planned on, that kind of blindsided me. The first is that I was in high-tech corporate sales for many, many years. And then right at 9/11 and again in 2002, the company that I represented, they let go their entire sales force. And so I lost a 6-figure sales job literally overnight and was left with the challenge to replace that income. And so the way that I attempted to do that was to become a full-time entrepreneur. And it took a whole lot longer than I thought it would take in order to replace that. But ultimately, I was able to overcome that challenge and replace that income and break that dependence to the day job. A few years after that, unfortunately, I went through a divorce, and that was a pretty brutal experience to go through, especially when it was not of your choice. And then as a result of that, that led me onto another path of being able to freely move where I want to move and pursue my own dreams, goals, and visions. And I think before that, I was living somebody else's dreams, somebody else's goals, somebody else's vision. And then after that, the third thing that knocked me down was a pretty big a blow, and that was my father's passing. He passed prematurely of pancreatic cancer at 74 years old. He was my best friend, my rock, my foundation, my biggest fan, my biggest supporter. And to lose him at 84, I think I could have handled it much easier. But to lose him at 74 years old in a moment's notice, it was a brutal experience to go through. And then that led me on challenges with health issues, with anxiety and panic, and all kinds of things. And thankfully, I've worked through those 3 challenges. But I firmly believe what Nietzsche once said: that which does not kill you strengthens you. Yeah. So ultimately, the challenges that we have in our life make us stronger, make us better. And so through this process, I've learned not to be bitter, but to get better in every aspect of my life. And I'm not there yet, but I'm a work in progress.
Yes, absolutely. And so, Patrick, I hear 3 things that you're saying. So I heard you 3 stories, but basically what you are saying is that the termination, some of us have been terminated before. Hey, hands up. Don't even know for what, right, Joan? I'm like, what? I thought I was rolling company car, company cell phone. But I think that there comes a point in life where, like Joan, our previous guest, where destiny collides with your time, where it is that you would have not left that nice, cushy 6-figure job, because I was not going to either. In fact, when I got paid, I didn't even really need the money because I had a spouse who was also employed. So my money was like fun money. And to have no money at all, and to rely completely on another person's income is rough. And so I hear you say that sometimes, because I want the audience to know, you may just have gotten fired from your job, or you may be a struggling entrepreneur, because I was there, where you hear the no's, where you just know without the shadow of a doubt, you're called to something else. You were created to do something else. And sometimes tragedy will happen in your life that will cause you to steer you in a different path. It's just like, when you're taking a road trip, you put in your final destination, but you don't see that bump. You don't see that curveball. Sometimes you don't see that tire flying off, and you have to make a move. And so that is what I hear Patrick say. First, he got terminated, so he had to make a move. He's a man, so naturally they, like to work and is a provider. And so he had to step in and to do something. And at that time, you were married, Patrick, and so you had to go through and do something. But that tragedy also caused, and you also ended up being divorced, right? And you have 2 boys, I believe, correct?
Yeah, my 2 boys they're now 22 and 26, but I firmly believe that we're in control of our lives, in control of our future. But I think sometimes God steps in and says, I have a better use of your talent. And the better use of your talent is, I'm not going to allow you to rot away at a lousy job working for somebody else. You have gifts and strategies and blessings and loves that you can share with the world. And so God will redirect your path. And redirect your life so that you can share your gift with the world, and not to share your gift as a sacrifice of that gift. And so I believe that I've kind of gotten off path and thought that I was going down this path. I was redirected. And in the process of becoming redirected, I've been able to make a much larger impact on the world had I then stayed at a limiting, job, so to speak.
Right. Because, it's kind of like a box, right? It was routine. It was like you rehearsed it. You woke up and you maybe have some breakfast, a shower, brush your teeth, and you head into the job, and you in a box garage, you get into the box car and you drive to the box office, have a box meeting, maybe have a box lunch, come back to the box office again, have some box meeting with some square box looking managers that you don't like, and you leave the job, get back in that box car, probably took the same route, come into the box garage, the box house, the box refrigerator, eat some more box dinner, into the box shower, into the box bed, and the routine starts all over again. And then on weekends, we stay in the box bed. And so life was routine. But today, you can get a speaking gig, Patrick, to go to Venezuela. Sometimes you're in Chicago. Sometimes I see you're traveling to North Carolina. I mean, you get to meet these interesting people, right? Because your tragedy strike. But, when your father passed away, I think that was one of your biggest blows. However, you didn't let it stop you. You continued to go because you had to live out your father's legacy. And I know that is still a pain point. And so what I want people to know, that even though my guests are triumphant right now, we still hurt. we still have pain and things. Yesterday I shared my story about when my twin boys, they died in my hands when they were grasping for air, and it's nothing like holding a baby, and there's nothing you can do. There's nothing the doctors can do because their lungs were too small, so they couldn't regurgitate their breath, and they're just grasping until they just die and become very cold. And came to find out you got to pick them up and have a funeral, which was just traumatic in winter in the Midwest, brutal in January. And so I share that story. And when I share that story, it's still, even though I have 3 children now, and that was 10, 11 years ago, even like Joan, when she think about that moment, it still has an impact. So viewers, I want you to know that even though you see me having the Dr. Carolyn Show, Joan, the awesome, wonderful coach and speaker and author, and Patrick, the infamous one that goes and takes the platform, help you with your book. And even though you will hear from all these guests, I want you to know something. We're real. And that's what our show is about, authenticity. We're not going to try to sugarcoat it like we're celebrities and we have it all together, because we don't. There are some days I don't want to be an entrepreneur. There are some days a thought comes to me, maybe I should go back to that box, because it's a sure money. When you're an entrepreneur, you don't have a steady income. It's by gigs and it's by clients, and who can talk to this best is me and our guest today. So I want you guys to know, keep thriving, because your triumph is right around the corner. So Patrick, thank you so much for sharing, and stay on, because I'm going to be coming back to you with some more questions. And now, for those of you that are with us, you are going to get a chance today to win something from me. And so I had one of the administrators to pick a name at 7:17 p.m. and I will be sharing by the end of the broadcast who has won. You will get a chance to win a 1-hour coaching session with me, which is a $1,512 value. For 1 complete hour, you will get to have coaching with me. We can talk about anything you want to, or we can discover your purpose or whatever it is that you may desire to speak to me about, as well as you'll get a chance to win a free copy of my book, the latest book, Heal Thy Life, Heal Thy Land. Healthy life, healthy land. We need some health in this land today. So you'll get a chance to win that book, and our staff will mail it out to you, and I'll autograph it and put a little note of encouragement in there for you. So stay tuned. And so you want to be sharing out. So if I can just get a quick roll call. Hello, could you tell me where you're from if you're just joining us? If you're joining us right now for the first time, welcome to the Dr. Carolyn Show. I am your host, Dr. Carolyn, and we have spoken today so far to life coach, keynote speaker, Joan T. Randall, who has overcome a tremendous moment in her life from being abused, divorced, and what she didn't tell you is now she's happily married to Mr. Randall, because that was not her beaten name. So there you have it. If you're watching, brother, yeah, you can't find me. All right. So Joan is spoke, and we just spoke with Patrick Snow. I'm sorry about that, Patrick. And he hails all the way from Hawaii, now in San Diego, California. He can help you to publish and promote your book. He's also a keynote speaker as well as an entrepreneur. And now, awesome. And here is Patrick's website. It is patricksnow.com. Is that right, Patrick?
Yes.
Yes, and there's his book, Creating Your Own Destiny. So as Patrick was saying, and the affluent entrepreneur, and I know he also has another book about something boy from Hawaii. So he talked about his journey of being a young man in Hawaii. But Patrick's book went New York bestseller, and he's sold hundreds of thousands of copies all over the world. And his book can change your life. So you can log on to patricksnow.com, and that's snow just like white snow, as Patrick is white and I'm black. Oh my God, I love life. I love people. My mom is from England. My mom was in Europe. She was in Nottingham. So we got the white side of us too, Patrick. You see, I'm light skinned. All right. Okay. So joining me next is our wonderful, awesome, the phenomenal, the great, the awesome sauce, Erika Mitchell. So welcome, Erika, to the show. Awesome. Welcome, Erika. So how are you doing, Erika?
I'm excited.
How you doing, babe?
I'm feeling really good. I'm excited. I did not expect to cry from the stories already, so it's like, it's amazing.
Yes.
Words really can't express how I'm feeling right now, because you're not the only one. That's how I feel. You're not the only one when you're going through something and you hear somebody else's story that had a different path than you did, and they experienced similar circumstances. So yeah, it's exciting.
And I've been watching Erika in the green room, and Erika has been crying the whole time. She had gotten tissues. She got up a couple of times, Joan, when you spoke, and she's just been bawling. And Patrick, when you talked about your father's death, Erika just lost it. She's very compassionate, a wonderful, awesome woman. And so the stories, I hope you guys are crying out there, because crying is healthy. It is good for you. It releases toxins. It is healing. And so cry. I want you to cry today. And as you're crying, please share out for people to join in, because perhaps their lives need to be transformed, just like yours is being transformed on the Dr. Carolyn Show today. And so, Erika, you hail all the way from the wonderful state of Wisconsin in Milwaukee. And Erika, you are a health fitness coach. You are also an entrepreneur full-time. You are also one that helps with nutrition. You help people to overcome their mind and their fears, because you believe that everything starts in the mind, correct? Erika, you're also a successful bodybuilder, a champion at that, not just any bodybuilder. And we'll be showing her pictures in a few minutes. And Erika is just an awesome human being, and also she's a mom. And Erika is a grandmother of 12. She don't look at a day, but she is a grandma of 12. And so welcome, Erika. How does it feel to be you?
Honestly, it feels amazing to be me. I feel spectacular. I love being me. At one point in my life, I didn't desire to be me. So it feels good to be the only Erika Mitchell that I know, body by E. So it feels amazing to be myself today.
Awesome. And you look amazing. I love your smile. You're just a beautiful smile. You're so golden. I love your color and how you radiate. And, look at your smile. I mean, just people talk about my smile, but I think, Erika, you got me beat. So just awesome human being. So Erika, right now you are doing amazing. In fact, yesterday you were with me when I spoke at the church, and you got so many people to sign up with you for training to become healthier. And, in the countries that we live today, there is a lot of sickness. I mean, health condition is what's taking people's lives. I mean, everywhere you turn, there's cancer, and it's not just adults, there's children. Childhood cancer is at the all-time rise. Childhood obesity. I have 2 girls, and I am having to now watch what they eat. It's just crazy. They're 10 and 13, and I have to watch what they eat. And you, Erika, you will sometimes go total vegan, and you will teach people how to eat clean. And so today you live and you thrive, and you make your own money. You call your own shots. You make your own schedule. You have clients every day. In fact, today, Monday, thank you for joining me, is one of your busiest day, and you had to reschedule some guests in order to be with the show. So those of you that are watching, that's how much these guests, they love you. They're busy folks. They're entrepreneurs. They could have taken a speaking gig. They could have been coaching someone, but instead they're here on the Dr. Carolyn Show because they want your lives to be changed and transformed. So Erika, you hit several lows. And you went through a time where, like Patrick, Joan, and my awesomeness producer, Robert, got fired, right? The job told you that they no longer needed your greatness. And so they terminated you, Erika, and you hit rock bottom. So I want people to tell people about when you got terminated, and then when you were severely obese and overweight, relationship problems, just all the gamut of it. Let them know the Erika that went through the trials.
Well, I think with me, for me being fired, it was a blow, because I was the girl that went in work and smiled and said hey to everybody. I never brought my problems to work, so I was surprised to be fired from my job, but it was actually a warning that came a year before I was fired, and it was expected. But when I was fired, I decided that I wasn't going to be depressed. I was going to do the things that I love doing, and one of them was to become a bodybuilder. And I wasn't going to be depressed. I actually was homeless. I didn't have anywhere to live. I was staying from house to house with friends and family. The only thing I had left that they didn't take was my car, so I was able to travel back and forth everywhere I needed to go. But one of the things that opened my eyes was the relationship that I was in. And a lot of us all end up in bad relationships. And this person never beat me or anything like that. It was just more so how I allowed the past relationships to overwhelm me in this relationship. So I thought I had to be a certain way and to look a certain way to make a person happy, but I was realizing that I wasn't happy and I was depressed. I felt, I had a lot of anxieties, and I already was overweight. I believe I was 243 pounds. That was the highest weight that I was 243. I may have been higher than that, but I remember being on a scale at 243 and tipping it to me because I couldn't squeeze my stomach in anymore. So I said, oh God, I'm fat. So I had to break up with my son's father, and I went my separate ways. We both went our separate ways. And as I said at the church yesterday, it was good for him and for me. Sometimes we can hinder people from moving forward in their lives because we're allowing them to be unhappy with us. And so I tapped him on the leg and said, hey, it's time to go. And he said, where are we going? I said, I'm not going anywhere. You got to get the hell up out of here. And it went that way. I mean, it went that way. And so we end up going our separate ways. And what happened for me is I didn't eat. And I said, God, if I'm not going to eat, and if I'm going to cry, it's not going to be over a man, and it's not going to be over disrespectful children. Because at that time, I believe my children were disrespectful to me because of the relationship that I was in. So your kids don't respect that. And so I said, if I'm going to cry, it's not going to be over that. And so I asked God to deliver me from myself, from my low self-esteem, my lack of confidence, my insecurities. And for over 21 days, I had no food. All I had was water. I did drink chicken broth at night. And I did try to drink chocolate milk just to give me those electrolytes because I was walking outside for at least 45 minutes every single day. And I dropped 30 pounds or more. And I felt my life coming back to me.
Wow. And
I knew it was a renewing of my spirit. It was a renewing of my mind and everything. But I knew it was going to be a journey.
Yes.
I had other secrets, as Joan said about taking her life and her children's life, I tried it. So I gave 2 of my kids up for adoption. I did not want to cry. I didn't expect this. But they're both back in my life. But 2 of my children, I put a pillow over their head when they were a year, and one was a year old and the other one was turning 2.
Yeah.
And I'm not ashamed to say it, but I was ashamed. It was because of a man. He said I had too many kids. And I placed the pillow over their head. And when I pulled it off, my daughter was crying, but my son, his eyes looked at me and said, why? And I couldn't do it. So
yes,
I couldn't do it. And then I went into the bathroom and I cried. And it was not the only time I tried to take my life. My youngest son was in my stomach, and I believe I was around 6 months at the time, 6 or maybe 7 months. And somebody shared with me that if I drink turpentine and Coca-Cola, I can abort the baby. And so I went in the bathroom and I drank the turpentine with the Coke. And I came out and my kids saw me staggering. And they were like, Mommy, what's wrong? Mommy, what's wrong with you? And I fell on, our bed was on the living room floor because we were watching movies at that time. And I just fell on the bed, and seriously, I thought I was dead.
Yeah.
I woke up with all this energy, like, all right, everybody, it's time to go. We need to go and we got to get ready for school. But I didn't even realize that, oh my God, I almost killed myself and my baby, or
Right.
what would have happened if
Right.
my baby would have died, or, you know, and my kids would have been without a mom.
Mm-hmm.
To me, that was selfish.
Yes. Right.
It was very, very selfish.
But you've overcome.
I had to forgive myself, and I overcame it. Believe me, I overcame it. But
Mm-hmm.
to tell this story, I know it's many women and even men that are probably struggling with not being able to share
Mm-hmm.
what they've done to themselves and to
Mm-hmm.
admit to themselves.
Yep.
It's okay to forgive
Yes.
yourself that you did this.
Yes.
But when my son was born, I believe, this is what I believe, that God allowed that child to teach me how to love myself
Right.
and to love my other children.
Right.
But to this day, all of my kids are in my life.
Right. Right.
My
Isn't that
friends
amazing?
tell me that I am amazing.
Yes.
My friends and family love me. I love myself.
Yes. Yes.
My joy is within my heart. And this is why I love to give to others, because I know what it's like to be depressed and to have people around you and they don't know what's going on with you, but they just
Right.
look happy.
Right.
I'm
Right.
here as a testament.
Yes, Erika.
Well, I'm happy.
Mhm.
I have joy in my heart. I have love for
Right.
others. I have love for myself. I have love for my grandchildren. I have
Right.
twins that were just born, grandchildren that
Right.
were born. And so
Right. Yes. So you have
life to
overcome.
the next level. Carolyn, I want to say to you, thank you.
Oh.
Because if it wasn't for your determination to push me,
Yes.
like I push my clients,
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be speaking today.
Right. Yes. You're welcome. You're
That
welcome.
was what helped me get to the point where I am in my life. I'm still healing.
Yes. Yes. Healing is a process. Healing is a process. Yes. Patrick can attest to that. Joan, I know healing is a process. My producer, Rob, I know he's probably been through some stuff, and healing is just, a process. Patrick has been divorced, Joan divorced and remarried. Patrick is still working on that honey that he will be into his life. And I also be asking Erika, I'm like, Erika, when is that husband coming? I'm with her. But Rob, I want you to show Erika's bodybuilding picture, because I want the audience to see this woman. Look at that, you all. I can hear the cheers all over. I mean, people are just clapping and tweeting out, Erika, look at that. I mean, that is simply amazing. You went from the 243 pounds. I mean, wow, 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 to this. And you won. You were determined and you trained yourself. You ran up and down those hundreds of stairs. I would see you and you were training and you pushed yourself. And so, no matter what it is that you are going through in life, you can push yourself because you can do this. And Erika, you did it. You became triumphant. And now today you are reigning. And I told you yesterday, and I'll tell you again today, you are heading international, baby. I'm telling you, the guests are clapping for you. The audience is cheering for you. We're going to see you on that platform. I mean, you're not just a bodybuilder, but you're a builder of the mind, the body, and the spirit. And that's what you embody. You had lost all your children because you gave some of them up for adoptions and others went with their fathers. Today, they call you and they're looking for you. In fact, as adult children, they still call you ma'am and they call you Miss Erika. They don't play. They can't just call you by your first name. You have set them into a place of respect. And so Patrick and Joan and Erika, you guys are just simply amazing. For the viewing audience that is watching, you guys are absolutely awesome. You have a gift in life and you may be going through a trial right now. I know there's a lot of fears that's happening in and around the country, especially the United States of America. People are simply afraid. They're not sure what's going to happen. And so I'm going to ask each guest to just give 2 pointers to the viewing audience, to the people that are watching and will rewatch this show about what they can do to overcome that fear, to just step into their purpose. To what is 2 things that you would be able to tell these viewing audience that you can give to them that can be food and fuel. And Joan, I'll start with you. So 2 pointers that you can share.
Okay, thank you so much. Boy, incredible stories. But fear is a spirit. Fear is a spirit, and it's a spirit that will cripple you. The opposite of fear is faith, but faith is an action word, and it goes in hand with trust. So my recommendation would be not to allow fear to cripple you from trusting yourself to making faith moves. So that's one thing. The second thing is journaling. Whatever you are feeling, no matter how you feel, write it down. Unload what is in your heart, what is in your mind on paper. It is as if you are stepping back from what you're going through and looking at it from a distance. So those are the 2 things I would say.
Beautiful. Excellent. Thank you so much, Joan. And again, JoanT.Randall.com, and the Victorious You book is also available, 90 Days to a Victorious You, on Amazon.com, and you will see her beautiful name out there, and the picture of there it is. There's a picture of it. #1 bestseller. Again, 90 Days to a Victorious You. If you're looking for victory in your life and to become triumphant, you can get that book and you can change your life immediately today. Mr. Snow, what can you tell the viewing audience? 2 pointers that they can apply immediately today, because this show is about transformation. We're not just a talk show. We are a transformation show. So 2 things that you can share with the guests as we're wrapping up today.
Well, I'm a huge proponent of vision. And so a quote that I termed many years ago about vision is, first, we got to ask, how do I want our lives to be? If we knew we could not fail, how would we want our future to be? So my quote is this: only those who can see the invisible can achieve the impossible. And ultimately it becomes the belief in your vision that holds the key to creating your own destiny. So how does one get on the path of creating your own destiny? The second thing I'd like to share is we need to think it, ink it, believe it, and achieve it. So think about our dreams, goals, and visions. Ink down our dreams, goals, and visions in our book on paper. Learn to believe in ourselves, and once we do that, we will achieve it, and we will become an unstoppable force of power, fully capable of achieving our destinies.
Awesome. Phenomenal. I like that. If you think it, you can do it, right? I like that, Patrick. When you speak, you make me want to just come through the television and just, jump out there on the computer. Awesome. So thank you very much for sharing that. Again, patricksnow.com, and he has books that are out there online as well as in Amazon. If you are interested in understanding more about how to get that ink it that he's talking about, out creating your own destiny. If you want to just write about your destiny and map out your life, go on Amazon, get those books, go on his website, get it, and call him as well and speak to him, and he'll be able to help you to take you from trials to triumph. And Erika, awesome Erika, 2 things that you can leave with the guests who are struggling, especially those I would say with weight issues, because that seems to be a very predominant thing amongst many people. There's at least one person in a household that's struggling from some form of weight or health. So if you would just touch on 1 pointer for that, and then something else that you'd like to share.
One of the things I tell people all the time is to write down what they eat. I don't care what it is. Even if it's a piece of gum, write it down, because when you see what you're eating, it's not that you'll be so disappointed at what you had to eat. You'll learn to change the habit of what you're eating. So sometimes when you're snacking, you don't recognize that you're snacking. You'll just remember what you had for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But throughout the day, you were snacking on other things. You won't remember. So remember what you're eating and know how much you're eating, because you can't overeat or you cannot eat enough. And so you have to learn how to control what you eat. And if you do that, you'll see the success in the weight loss. Another thing I wanted to share is you can only control yourself. You can't control other people. It's good to have people around you to help you, and don't be afraid to ask for help, but you have to learn how to control you. You don't control you, you're not going to be able to help other people in the areas that they need that help. And so one of the things that I had to learn was I can't control people. I can't control how they think and what they're going to do, but I know that I can control myself. And so if we learn to control ourselves, we'll be able to control the other areas in our lives.
Awesome. That is simply amazing. Thank you so much for sharing. That's very important. All three guests talked about writing down. So what I'm taking from the show, from trials to triumph, was Joan was able to publish her book because she actually wrote her story. She got that from her journal. Patrick has his book published, inked, and pen, and he's probably working on several others, as well as myself. And I know Joan is also working on her book, and Erika is working on her first book. And it is about inking it down. It's good for technology. I'm talking about love technology. It has saved my life. It is the ability for me to be able to produce the Dr. Carolyn Show. When Oprah started her show, she had a VHS, and she did a tape recording in a little studio and send out that VHS to the networks, hoping somebody would watch it. Today, I have NBC that's watching me. I have Fox that's watching me live. I'm grateful for Facebook. I'm grateful for the internet, but there's nothing like paper. There's something about paper. When you write it down, you can see it, you can pen it, you can have those visions. You can take what you've written and just push it out. And so all the guests today have shared with you how they have overcome trials, from death to life, and from losing to winning, from the bottom to the top, from trials to triumph. They've all shared with you about how they struggled, and they are all from 3 different backgrounds, different races, different cultures, upbringings. But their story can relate to you. There's something in that story that can relate to you. I've been homeless 5 times, and I mean, I've topped it off. I don't think I can be homeless anymore. And so, when you come from the military and you're a vet, you would think you have a home, but actually there's a lot of veterans that leave the military and have no place to stay, because the money that they give you in the military, you use that for your living, for your weekends and for your clothing and things of that nature, or to send back home. And so people have been from the bottom to the top. You heard it today. I lost 4 to 5 children from preterm death and from miscarriages, but today I have 3 thriving. Have broken relationships today. Happily married to a wonderful. My producer called his wife a hot wife, so I'm married to a hot man, and it's a good thing. And so life is a journey. It is not a final destination. When you do meet that final destination, life is over, but it's a journey. So you will have speed bumps. Sometimes life is like a flight from one place to another. Everything is going good. It's smooth. All of a sudden, boop, turbulence or a drop, and that plane just shakes. And I don't know about you, but I always cry out for Jesus, because I'm not sure what's holding up that plane. But it's life is like that. The pilot can't see the turbulence coming, so it is for life. You don't know what your tomorrow may bring. You don't know what turbulence is awaiting you. But just know from today's show, no matter what it is that you will face in life, you can be triumphant. If you're in an abusive situation, you can run. If you are going through a divorce or has been divorced, you can heal from it. There is someone else waiting for you that you can marry and live a triumphant life. If you've lost your children or given them up for adoption, you can see them and be with them again. You can be a mom again, like Erika is, and you can turn your life around from being severely overweight and a beast to being a bodybuilder or maybe a model like me. So me and Erika, we joke all the time because I do the modeling, she does the bodybuilding. When Erika hugs you, she crushes me. I'm like, whoa, okay. So you can be whatever it is that you desire to be. When they terminated me from my job, I just went straight into entrepreneurship. And 5 years now, I am celebrating. And look, today have launched the Dr. Carolyn Show. So no matter what it is that you have in life, you can be successful. You can be triumphant. Your trials only come to make you stronger. Your trials are a sign that you need to look somewhere else and turn a different direction. And that sometimes means letting some people go. And so whatever it is you're going through, know that through Joan's story, through Patrick's, through Erika's, through mine, through the stories that you will hear for the shows that will be coming in the future, just know that your life can be changed and be transformed, that there is no problem that is greater than you, that there is nothing that you don't put your mind to that you cannot achieve, that, you know, your life is a journey, it is a path, and that if you write the vision, if you map it out, you can be the next bestseller. Why not? I would love to see your name being the bestseller, international, going global. I mean, life is amazing, and you can do things that can catapult you into your next destiny. And so, as we're coming to a close, I would love to give out the name of the individual that won the book. And so, is this the person that won the book? Yes. At 7:17 p.m., the guest that made a comment was Laurelyn Williams. And so, Laurelyn Williams, you want to send an email to admin, ADMIN, at carolynganderson.com. If somebody can type that into the Facebook chat or the YouTube scroll. So admin at carolynganderson.com. And the person that won the free coaching, just a second here, that gets the life coaching that also posted at 7:17 p.m. is, drum roll, so you will get to have 1 hour with me. You will get to share and to tell me your story. You will get to, do whatever it is that you want to do for that hour. And that's a $1,512 value. And so that person is, okay, admins, work with me here. The name is coming. It's taking a little while. It's buffering. And so at 7:17, Tosca Cheatham Biles. I hope I'm saying that correctly. Tosca, Tosca. You commented at 7:17 p.m. No one knew what time we were pulling those, but at 7:17 p.m. because today is 7:17, and I love the number 7:17, and we started at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. You are the winner. You will have 1 hour of coaching with me. So email admin at carolynganderson.com. I want to thank all of our viewers. I want to thank our supporters. I want to thank my producer, Rob Hix. And if you are looking to do some video, some production to get your show going, I want you to contact my producer, but you can't use the times that I use him. You just can't, because he's mine. And so he's Robert Hix, and it's at Hixvideo, and he's just an amazing producer. So I need you to share this out. I need you to like it. I need you to tweet it, because in order for the show to become syndicated and live on television, I need likes, and I need a certain amount of likes, as well as I need your comments. And that will be for the next 48 to 72 hours is what they told me at the publication, that between now and 48 hours to 72 hours, they will be checking, and I have to send in the reel and the video to show them how many likes. So after the show is over, it's not over. It's just the beginning. If you like what you heard from Joan T. Randall today, if you love what you heard from Patrick Snow, if you love what you heard from the transformationist Erika Mitchell, then you want to keep the show on the air. You want to keep it going. You want to keep this going out into the atmosphere. You know, the FCC put out a commission for authentic and real fresh shows. They don't want to see the talk shows that are no longer on television. They want to see something fresh, and they want it to address real issues, and they want solutions. All the games and things are over. You know, people are tired of, you know, the things. So we're going to take and show people, real life people, the celebrities, as well as those that are making a difference in the communities. So we will take those who are already famous, those who will become famous through the show, and bring those together. Because you know what? At the end of the day, the problems and the trials are still the same. The rich are looking for relationships, and they're looking to become healthier, because I coach some of them. And those who are still working 9 to 5 are looking to become an entrepreneur. So we all meet in the middle somewhere, all right? So thank you guys. Thanks to my guests. Thank you, Joan, for joining me. Thank you, Patrick. Thank you, Erika. Thank you to the production team. My website is carolynganderson.com, and we have more shows coming for you. It's going to be amazing. My book, Heal Thy Life, Heal Thy Land, is about the year 2017 and you walking in your healing. My father had terminal cancer, and through the declarations that are in this book, he's now not terminal. He's cancer free. They can't find any trace of cancer in his body, and he is out golfing in Jamaica. So it really does work if you apply these principles. And all these individuals today that were guests on the show have a book that can transform and change your life. And so thank you for joining me. Thank you for being a part of this first preview. You have made history, and your lives will never be the same. My life will never be the same. Thank you guys so much. Please continue to share. Please continue to watch. Please continue to like this show, the Dr. Carolyn Show, and please continue to post this out, because now the work really truly begins. Remember, if you're in a trial right now, pretty soon you will be triumphant. If you're down, just know that pretty soon you'll be up. Life does not stay that way. Seasons change, and so do your life. And you're only perhaps 1 second, one decision, one chance, one day away from being triumphant, from being that multi-millionaire. You can go from the bottom to the top in 24 hours. And so thank you for joining me. Thanks to all my family and my friends, and all those who are my Facebook friends and my Facebook family, YouTube, my Instagram folks, and my folks all over the world and all over the country. Thank you so much for making this day a reality. I really do appreciate you, and I thank you so much. And so I think that's it. We're coming to a close. We're wrapping up. And I am just really ecstatic, really excited. And I just want to thank my guests for being on the show again. And so Tosca and Laurelyn, if you can email admin@carolynganderson.com. And come on now, I need to see the work going forth. I need to see the shares, the likes. If you have an iPad, a computer, and a phone, like it 3 different times. Each gadget, each item counts as 1 like and as 1 view. So guests, I know you guys are popular and famous, so share it out to your folks. Let them see you. You can officially say that you were on the Dr. Carolyn Show, just like I used to say I was on the Steve Harvey Show. Thank you, guys.